Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answer they need from an employment attorney. We have a question from YouTube user Jay, not going to read your last name, who asks us, why won't my agency, who I assume is your employer, reinstate me after losing summary judgment? So, we don't know a lot here, but I can deal with some hypotheticals, okay? So you're saying your, I believe, employer lost summary judgment. You called them an agency, so you must have been working for some agency. They lost summary judgment. They lose all the claims in summary judgment. Did they lose the case outright? Excuse me. I'm very under the weather today. I apologize. I feel like I'm going to throw up. So listen, you can lose any number of claims in summary judgment. So your employer goes into summary judgment. I guess you put in a summary judgment motion, hypothetically, and you won. Now, I don't know if you won on one claim, two claims, 30% of claims, 80% of claims, 100% of claims. I don't know. I'm going to assume, based on your question, that you won on 100% of your claims. So you have summary judgment and you're the winner. There does not need to be a trial here. We do not require a finder of fact to go forward. You've won on summary judgment and all claims have been disposed of. And the answer to your question in that scenario as to why they will not reinstate you is that in the proceeding, in the court you're in, whether it's a court, an agency, an arbitration, whatever it is, wherever you are, federal court, state court, I don't know where you are. Generally speaking, reinstatement is not an available relief at trial in this field, right? If you're bringing a workplace discrimination or workplace sexual harassment claim, generally speaking, reinstatement's not available. There's reinstatement available in other realms, like if you're dealing with union issues and you're in the NLRB, there's some chance of reinstatement. If you're dealing with OSHA stuff, listen, reinstatement can happen, but and also in settlement on these claims, reinstatement can definitely happen, right? If you're litigating a sexual harassment claim or a workplace discrimination claim, you can absolutely get reinstatement. It's often tough. It's difficult. It's an uphill battle, but I've seen it happen many, many times. Not a guarantee. The employer doesn't have to agree to that, right? But it's something that you can negotiate for in settlement. But if you are going to trial or winning at summary judgment, odds are, in most jurisdictions, the relief available to you is monetary. You can win money. Now, that's great if you want money, but two problems with that. One, you might really want the job, right? Reinstatement might not be available under the laws you're using in the jurisdiction where you are. Statistically speaking, it's probably not. Two, the bad thing about winning money and people putting dollar signs to your suffering and your economic damages is it feels bad. It feels horrible, right? So, keep that in mind. So winning summary judgment doesn't mean that you get sent back to the job in this kind of case, the workplace discrimination, workplace sexual harassment case. Now, I can go a step further, though. Let's say instead of winning 100% of the claims in your case on summary judgment, you win 80%. Great. So you won 80% of the claims. 20% of those claims still have to go forward to trial. So that trial is still pending. So, that case is still playing out. There's also the possibility that your employer won summary judgment and you were unclear in this question. Generally speaking, if they won summary judgment in a workplace discrimination or workplace sexual harassment case, they're probably looking to have as little to do with you going forward as possible. You might say, hey, that sounds like retaliation, and it does. But and don't discount the potential of like a failure to rehire retaliation claim. Like those things exist, and you can talk to local counsel about those, and it's certainly a possibility, right? If you litigate workplace sexual harassment or workplace discrimination, and they don't want to bring you back to work, that's an option, something you can look at. Not always available, but it's something to look at. Now, the fact of the matter is, though, if they bring you back to work, if any idiot who works for them does something nasty to you, any negative workplace consequence, that person's handing you a fresh retaliation claim that you can litigate anew. because it is new. And that just means they have to spend a ton of money fighting you again, and they might lose a case again, and they might have to give you loads of money after paying loads of money to attorneys as well. So they want to avoid that as much as possible. Like, they'll do anything. And one of the best ways to avoid that is to not bring you back to work, right? So anything they can do to not hire you, they will do, right? Because if you're not there, it's much harder for someone to retaliate against you, and there's much less chance that the liability is going to spring up anew with a new claim because some idiot who works for them didn't listen to the attorney and didn't do right by you and treat you with respect. That's another reason why they don't want you back, right? They might often take that hit for not bringing you back rather than bring you back and just be stuck, never really able to fire you, or at least, really difficult to fire you, and constantly at risk of one of their employees doing something horrible to you and you just having like a massive claim for retaliation with punitive damages, right? So they're trying to avoid that as well. But Jay, the long story short is, and I enjoy your Naruto avatar. I was really identified with Naruto as a character growing up, so certainly I thought he was swell, and I enjoyed that show as well. Your employer is not probably going to have to reinstate you just because they lost summary judgment or even a trial in a workplace sexual harassment or workplace discrimination case. That's the reality of the situation. Now, Jay, if you want to provide a little bit more of the specifics here, like where's your case pending, or where was it pending if it's over now because summary judgment's over, what agency, what jurisdiction, and I can't talk to you about the laws of other states besides the states I practice in. I'm not allowed to, but I can at least say, like, hey, talk to local counsel about like X, Y, and Z, right? At the end of the day, if reinstatement is what you want, you can negotiate for that even now. If you've won summary judgment, you can say, hey, I won summary judgment, and so the case is probably now going to go to some kind of damages hearing, an inquest, so to speak. They're gonna determine how much you should be paid for what was done to you, right? In that process, you can still negotiate. You can be like, well, listen, I won, and I'm going to win a chunk of money, but I would reduce that chunk of money if you bring me back, because that's what I want the most. And they might go for it, because now you've got them over a barrel, so to speak, right? You've got them in a tough spot because you won at summary judgment, hypothetically, and they're staring down the barrel of a sizable loss, right? If your damages are high. So they might be thrilled to be like, yeah, you know what? We would love to have you back. You're always a good employee. We're going to put you over with this manager that you had a good relationship with, and frankly, we're never going to move you. That's just, we're going to never touch you and hope we're done with this whole thing. I've seen that happen too. That's an option. If what you want more than anything is to return to work, that is an option. It could be an option. I can't tell you they'll agree to it. I can't tell you they'll negotiate for it, but I can tell you I've seen people do it. Okay? Anyways, Jay, I wish you great luck. If you want to get back to this job, I hope that happens. If you want a cash payday and you be done with these people, I hope that happens. If this video was helpful, like, subscribe, comment below. Share our channel so it will grow. Take care, everybody.